Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how I scratch built the wheel load for the old wheels that are exiting the layout from the rip track. Alright, we start by raiding the kit boxes that sit on the shelf. All these plastic wheel sets were replaced by metal wheels on the car, so I stuck each box has 4 wheel sets in it, so I just went through and took them all and cut the wheels off the axles. So these for sale signs that you can get for a couple bucks at Home Depot or Lowe's, actually a very cheap source of pretty thick sheet styrene. I use them for all kinds of stuff. I use them for the base of various loads I've made in the past. I've also used them for bracing material, and when I've kit bashed a structure kit and the roof no longer lines up to what came with the kit, I use them for that. So here I'm just sizing the styrene to fit down inside the gondola. Testing, look, perfect fit. And I learned when the camera's above you, you got to do the thumbs up sideways. Next here, I'm just gonna use some Styrene I-beam. It doesn't really matter what size, but this serves 2 purposes. First, to kind of brace that styrene up from the for sale sign so that it's not gonna warp and change shape, and things that we glue to it might pop off. And it also lifts it a little bit off the bottom of the car, which kind of gives the illusion that there's a little bit more to the load than what we're actually modeling here. So sort of an illusion effect. So just using regular plastic cement here. I'm not really worried about it being perfectly straight or evenly spaced or whatever. It doesn't really matter. This is underneath the load. So you'll see that the first one goes on pretty straight, and the second one I'm a 1/4 inch or maybe even a 1/2 inch off the edge of it, but it really doesn't matter. This is underneath everything. I initially tried to use the same plastic cement to glue the wheels on, but they didn't hold. It must be made out of something else, so I switched over to super glue, and that's how I did it. And I just used my fingers. The forceps weren't quite gripping it quite right, so I was just quick with my fingers. Just be careful, don't stick your fingertips in the super glue. kind of randomly arranged. I think that looks pretty good. It's got some, some piles on the two ends that would be sitting over the trucks where you'd load it down a little bit more probably. And I don't know, I think that looks about right. So I'm gonna move on to the next step. I like to use painter's masking tape on a scrap piece of wood or something just to create a little handle. This allows me to get at it from both sides, from the top and everything, without spraying paint all over my hands. My extremely well ventilated spray booth. It's pretty dark out here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and spray it, and I'll catch up with you guys when the spraying's done. I'm gonna go black first, and then a little dusting of that Panzer gray. Alright, everything you've seen up to this point was one evening. It's now the next day. This is dried and I'm moving on. Time to start getting it real dirty and weathered up good. So I started with the grimy black on the base. Then I hit it with some rusty brown on the base as well, and I kind of went overboard on that on the base. See, I come back and clean it up later. Other than that, I'm just hitting each wheel with either real rust, which is the lighter, sort of newer looking rust, or the older rusty brown for something to look a little bit older. You just kind of mix it up, try to make it not look too uniform. The solution really does a lot of the work for you, pooling and settling irregularly. You'll see a close-up later in the video of the effect you get with this stuff, but it's a pretty cool product. Alright, now that rust is all dried, I'm going to come in with some Bragdon Enterprises powders, starting with soot, and I'm going to go kind of around the base here, and where I got too much of that rusty brown on the base, which kind of represents the base of the gondola, I'm just kind of cleaning that up, adding a little bit more of the black to make it stand out a little bit more from the load. Then I'm going to come in with some rust powders as well. Kind of touch up some of the wheels where I feel like I used a little bit too much of the rusty brown, the darker rust. So I'm kind of coming in with some different, just some different rust textures and different rust colors, and just again trying to make a few of them set out from the rest and just add some variety. And that's really all there is to it. It was 2 evenings of messing around, tinkering with the camera some. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Hope y'all are well and safe.